Come see it all at the unique Outside In Gerke's Corners showroom they share with Siding Unlimited, the best area installer of siding, of course, but also windows, doors, roofing, and decks. Their combo open house is this Saturday from 9 to 1. Meet the product reps and the Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited teams. Check out sidingunlimited.com and outdoorlivingunlimited.com. Open house this Saturday from 9 to 1.
Headlines, texts, emails, the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. Seems like it never ends. Market volatility can lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise Americans report being stressed about their investment and retirement plans. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side for investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Veterans benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Time for some tossed strikeouts and scrambled swings.
Throw to third, not in time. How about that? Christian Yelich gets to third base with a steal. Get the wall, it'll fly. Mike Brasso goes deep.
Hello, Seattle. Our Brewers-Mariners series coverage starts tonight at 8:05 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, big snowfall in western Wisconsin.
I'm Sandy Max. No charges yet for a Waukesha teen found with a rifle near a high school.
I'm Greg Matzik. Optimism with Giannis.
I'm Debbie Laziga, and no incidents up on the board in our neck of the woods, but we got our usual suspects slowing down. Southbound 43 between Bender Road and Hampton. We've got westbound 94 slowing down from about 35th Street through the stadium, and then southbound 41 from Capitol Drive down past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years. Tonight, clearing sky, a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 52 degrees. Heavy snowfall in western Wisconsin. Northfield reporting nearly 2 feet of snow. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson is tracking some of the other totals.
Melrose at 19.5 inches. We had Neilsville earlier at 19. La Crosse, the official total from the National Weather Service office, 13.1 inches of snowfall. So this spring snowstorm living up to that name, but in the western part of Wisconsin.
In southeast Wisconsin, there's been little to no accumulation.
Charges aren't expected today in the case of a 17-year-old boy found armed with a rifle outside Waukesha North High School last Friday.
The boy was taken into custody after he was spotted near the school last Friday afternoon. The incident forcing some schools in that area to implement security protocols. Waukesha police tell TMJ4 News they are treating the suspect as an adult. A spokesperson says there is a mental health issue that must be addressed and more needs to be investigated before charges are ultimately filed. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
An Air National Guardsman was granted access to highly classified information. Jack Teixeira was expected to access it because of his IT position. ABC Pentagon correspondent Louis Martinez.
He needed access to those rooms where the sensitive computers are that hold classified information. He had needed access to those classified networks, and potentially that's how he could also gain access to the documents themselves. It's built on trust. The whole classification system, the whole background check system is based on trust that once you get that national security clearance, that you're going to maintain the secrecy. You actually have to sign non-disclosure agreements as well. So there's a lot of violations here.
Teixeira is facing charges for showing allegedly those documents to a group of teenagers. He was charged in Boston on Friday.
The former Cardinal of Washington, D.C. is facing sexual abuse charges related to incidents in Lake Geneva.
Theodore McCarrick is the first current or former cardinal to face sexual abuse charges. He was removed from the clergy in 2019 due to numerous allegations of misconduct and has already pleaded not guilty in a similar case in Massachusetts. The Wisconsin charges allege repeated acts of sexual abuse with the victim, including at a home in Lake Geneva. The case originated through Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call's Clergy and Faith Leader Abuse Initiative. Lawyers for McCarrick have argued the 92-year-old is not competent to stand trial because he has dementia. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The man accused of opening fire inside a Milwaukee police station has accepted a plea deal. Police say 24-year-old Darian Parker Bell walked into the police District 5 headquarters in 2022 asking about his best friend Keyshawn Thomas, who had died while in custody. Parker Bell then fired shots and ran off. Today, he agreed to plead guilty to first-degree recklessly endangering safety. A sentencing hearing is expected in June.
QB1 is in the building. Greg Matzik explains in sports next.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04.
Let's take a minute of R&R. R&R Insurance, that is. R&R Insurance does a great job of providing employee benefits to all of us here at Good Karma Brands. Business insurance seems to be getting more complex these days, though. To share some knowledge about this topic and its impact on business, here is Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Yeah, Vince, let me tell you what headwinds commercial insurance buyers are facing today. Catastrophic storms in the Midwest and South are destroying the earnings of insurance companies and driving premiums higher. Inflation, higher costs of capital, and economic uncertainty. If your agent's not discussing these important risk management topics and options with you, you're putting your business in jeopardy.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As the knowledge brokers, we bring deep industry knowledge and 48 years of local ownership and stability to today's market. As a business insurance top 100 agency, R&R Insurance is focused on you, the client, and protecting everything you've worked so hard for. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Will Giannis be available for Game 2? That's the question of the day around the league as the Bucks look to even their best-of-7 series against the Heat Wednesday night. NBA insider Shams Charania with the latest.
I'm told there is optimism about his availability for Game 2. It's believed to be a pain tolerance issue that he's got in his lower back. X-rays were negative. I expect him to be reevaluated again today. He's got a ligament issue in his wrist as well, from what I'm told. Great. He's got a couple of these little nagging injuries that are going to play a part potentially. But right now, Giannis, there is hope and optimism he'll be good.
Mike Budenholzer saying just moments ago, mostly positive vibes and thoughts regarding Giannis's and his availability. Mostly optimistic, according to the Bucks head coach. They did not practice today, just finishing up a film review session. Bucks and Heat Game 2 Wednesday night from Fiserv Forum. Brewers are 11-5 after a Sunday win over the Padres.
I mean, we won 3 out of 4, so it's a fun series for us. Two certainly really fun wins where it's came down to the last pitch of the game. And it's a good team, and it's a tough team to beat, and we beat them at home 3 out of 4, and that's a nice series.
For the first time in 7 years, the Brewers are in Seattle to take on the Mariners. They've won 4 straight. Coverage begins at 8:05 on WTMJ. And QB1 is in the building. Not Aaron Rodgers. It's Jordan Love, one of a handful of players to report as the Packers' offseason program officially begins. Over a dozen players have financial incentive to show up, including David Bakhtiari. He gets a $700,000 bonus. Not bad.
Ooh,
Rodgers
nice.
does have a $50,000 bonus tied to his contract. No, he is not showing up or has not shown up. I don't think he will show up. Likely the Packers will waive that if he's traded. Speaking of contracts, by the way, Rodgers no longer the highest paid player in the league. How about this? Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. This is breaking. 5 years, $255 million extension.
That's a lot.
It's $179 guaranteed $1 million, according to the NFL Network.
It's a lot of green. Thank you, Greg. 3:08 at WTMJ. The 3 at 3 up next.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions.
Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Grandview Homes will buy your home as is today. It doesn't matter what condition it's in. We'll give you a fair cash offer in 48 hours, and you have nothing to lose to try us out. With Grandview, you don't need to fix your home to sell it. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
This is Jim Griffin with Spectacular Spring Service Specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, happy Monday. Sandy Max is here, so is Greg Matzik and Debbie Loziga. Adam Roberts is producing the show this afternoon, and we've got stuff that we are checking out today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
All right, Sandy, where do we start?
A new era of policy for body camera transparency seems to be on the horizon for the city of Milwaukee.
The Fire and Police Commission needs to decide when and how they will release body cam footage, and it seems that there's a consensus around these couple of points. It seems that they're leaning towards making all that footage available to families of those hurt or killed by police within 48 hours of the incident, and it would be within 15 days that they would release it publicly. Right now, it's 45 days, a month and a half is their guideline, and there's no teeth into that. They can move that if they think there are extenuating circumstances. But the Fire and Police Commission is expected to decide on Thursday whether or not to release all this stuff much sooner than they have in the past. What's the second thing?
America's largest bridal retailer is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
David's Bridal. 1 in 4 brides in America buy their dress from David's Bridal. And they say that they've been hurt because of the pandemic, but then even as weddings came back, they've been hurt by inflation, online retailers, thrift stores, and a shift to more casual weddings. And so they have indeed filed for bankruptcy. Listen to this number. They have 10,000 employees. They're getting rid of 9,000 of them. 90% of their workforce. But they're still keeping all their stores open with skeleton staffs as they hope that somebody purchases them. Wow.
Well, because I think that is something you try on.
Right.
You get that magic
Yes.
feeling. Like I haven't been married. I haven't done this. But, I
Yeah.
get the whole, this is your special day.
My daughter was in town this weekend and picked out her wedding dress here in Milwaukee, and she went to the shop, and it was like, oh, there's the one. Yeah, so I think you're right.
But she didn't go to David's Bridal, did she? She's
did
part of the
not.
problem.
She's right. You're right.
I'm
she did
teasing
not.
you.
No,
but-
you're right.
But I wonder how the wedding industry has evolved since the pandemic as well.
Yeah. All right, what's the third thing we're tracking today?
Third thing, very important. We had snow this morning. Today is the start of Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Yikes.
And it's nothing to joke about. I'm sure you'll see all the meteorologists on television, and I'm sure Brian Niznansky will have some tips to share later today and throughout the week, and we'll be informing you during the newscast. But you don't mess around with tornadoes.
You don't mess around with tornadoes, and you have kind of a connection to this story, which I'm fascinated
Well,
by.
I do. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and when I was a kid, my dad was a newscaster, and he was the reporter, April 3rd, 1974, who broke the news that there was a tornado warning, and this was the first of the super tornado outbreaks. It was devastating. This is a sample from Day of the Killer Tornadoes documentary.
A tornado warning has been issued for part of Kentuckiana. WHAS now transmits a tone to activate special receivers.
The severe thunderstorm warning has been changed to a tornado warning for Metro Louisville, Jefferson County, including Meade.
In the sky above, Dick Gilbert, the station's airborne traffic reporter, is already keeping watch.
Okay, Dick, what can you see at this point?
So that was my dad.
What a great voice.
Ah,
How cool.
Yeah,
he is a
it's
very
my DNA
well-respected
there.
journalist. That's really cool.
And I found air checks where he's going through the safety, where you should go,
Yeah.
get into a ditch. So don't mess with it. Because I remember I was a kid in daycare, and I remember being whisked down to the church basement and singing songs to pass the time, having no idea that dozens of tornadoes were ripping through and destroying Kentucky.
All right. Good stuff, Sandy. Coming up at 3:17, just a couple of minutes from now, here's what we're going to do. Trenny Kuznirik. Do you remember that name? Trenny Kuznirik. She is from our area. She works for NBC in Boston. She joins us live from Boston on this 10-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. That's up next.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I think you're underestimating the power of the gator teeth.
See the world from his perspective.
Responsibility in adulthood. Not sure it's all it's cracked up to be.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
I don't know what could possibly happen that would make you get to the point where you're going to chomp on a nose. I don't know.
Well, that's good analysis, Tauscher. All right, glad we talked that through today.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
With inflation affecting so many families, the super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The breakfasts are big. They're $8.99 or less. Mondays are Family Pizza Day. Enjoy a huge 18-incher for just $14.99. Easily serves a family of 4. Pizzas like this at other restaurants, about $20 or more. I love the pepperoni at the Mine Shaft. Tuesdays, tacos are $2.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that $2 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. The Mine Shaft desserts are all buy one, get one free. I love the chocolate cake. For real. The amazing Mine Shaft on Main Street in beautiful downtown Hartford and also in Oshkosh. Enjoy that huge Monday pizza for $14.99. Tuesday tacos are $2.99. Happy hour is until 5 o'clock. Half-price beers, half-price cocktails. No reservation needed. Just walk in today. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Check it out at mineshaftrestaurant.com.
This is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta for St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. New to Aria's menu is a family-style chicken dinner available every Sunday featuring the restaurant's famous Bro-Stish chicken served with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Learn more and make reservations at Aria at stkatearts.com.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit bytheyard.net. That's bytheyard.net.
Traffic is sponsored by Trees on the Move. From planning to planting, it's Trees on the Move. We all look forward to outdoor living in Wisconsin. From planning to planting and everything in between, now is the perfect time to let Trees on the Move beautify your landscape.
Let's check those roads. Then we check in with Trenny Casey from Boston. How we doing, Deb?
Well, we have an accident. It is on Capitol Drive eastbound, right underneath I-41. If you know where that is, it's like got that 3-level interchange there. It's on eastbound Capitol Drive. So just watch out. It's off on the side of the road, so it's not really affecting the ride too much. Just something to keep in mind. Southbound on 43, though, is hitting the brakes a bit from Hampton Avenue down through Capitol Drive. Some more delays right out of the Marquette interchange heading onto the high-rise bridge. Otherwise, everything else has eased up kind of nicely. We're rolling along pretty well right now. And now that we have dry pavement, things are moving along better. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic and weather. It closes with weather. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Clearing skies tonight, a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 52. Wednesday, scattered showers, a high of 53. On Thursday, showers, a high of 63. On Friday, cloudy, a high of 55 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it is 37 degrees. Sounds from 10 years ago. It's the 10-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. Our friend Trenny Casey is with us, NBC Sports Boston. Tren, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's so good to have you on, even though your name is different.
I was going to say, it's like so much easier to introduce me now. You save like 15 minutes.
So I was saying to Greg and Sandy, I'm surprised she changed her last name. And then I was like, but Trenny is such a unique name that everybody would still know you because you're like the great athletes. You're kind of a first-name person. You know, Trenny.
Exactly. Uma, Oprah, Trenny. It's like all
exactly.
The same. Pele.
Let's put Cher and Madonna in there, too.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Honestly, though, to be honest, when I was thinking about changing my last name, I just have always wanted an easier last name. It just took me until I was, in my mid-40s to meet someone to marry that had an easy last name. And someone's like, are you really going to change it? And I was like, yes, because I'm tired of spelling and pronouncing my first name and my last name. I'm like, so now it's just that I only have to explain one. Now I only have to explain the origin of one.
That's funny.
Just simplified my life. Although now people call me Casey because they think that's my first name. So it's just never easy.
Well, it's a learning curve there, Tren. Absolutely. I thought you might be running in the marathon this year. I know you've done it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't. I ran it in October of 21. And I just had been running a lot at that point, was pretty beat down, and thought about it. Maybe I would try to run for a charity, it being the 10th anniversary and all, and just decided against it. Just trying to get my body back into some sort of running shape. So I'm going to do a half marathon in November, and I've got the bug. I definitely today, my workout at the gym, I was like, oh, maybe I can do another marathon. Maybe I can try to qualify again, because it really is such a spectacular day. And, I know you guys started the segment off with the Nat sound from the terrible day 10 years ago, April 15th, 2013, when two bombs went off at and near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. And it really, everyone this weekend, it was just such a celebration. It's pretty amazing to see the resiliency of the city, the spectators, the runners. I mean, there were 30,000 plus people on the course again today, and probably close, even though it was rainy and kind of chilly out today, like 51 degrees and rain. The course was still packed. And I think a large part of that had to do with that people wanted to show their support 10 years later that, the terrorists weren't going to win. Boston was going to win.
Well, Trenny, hashtag Boston Strong was all around 10 years ago when that happened. How are survivors participating or still being honored today?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Some did participate in the marathon. Some have prosthetic legs that they're able to run with. Some have chosen to go the hand cycle route, and so they ran that way. I think one of the most touching moments, Martin Richard, who would have been 18 years old this year, he died when he was 8 years old at the bombing. His brother and three of his best friends, who also just turned 18, you need to be 18 to run the marathon, they ran in his honor. And this is the last time that the MR8, which is what they named the charity in honor of Martin, this is the last running of that charity. They're now going to retire their bibs and sort of move forward. There's actually a big piece on Jane Richard, his sister, who lost a leg in the bombing, talking about how, it's been difficult to sort of be the face of the bombing, right? But her family having to carry so much, not just of the grief of losing a brother and a son, but also having to sort of carry an entire city on their shoulders and always, kind of be forward facing. And it's interesting to talk to survivors and the families of victims who say it's always a grieving process. It never ends. And you just have found a new way to live and a new way to be hopeful. But what happened that day never leaves you.
Tren, I watched the documentary over the weekend on Netflix. Powerful. You're there. Does that drudge up memories that are difficult for people? Does it bring closure to, my gosh, look what happened 10 years ago? What's your reaction and the Boston reaction to the documentary?
I think it's difficult. A lot of friends have tried to watch it and have had to watch it in pieces. I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it yet. I mean, I've only seen a couple of, there were some flashback shorter videos that like the Boston Globe put up on their website. And every time I watch something or watch a piece on a survivor or the Richard family, I'm just brought to tears. I mean, it is really difficult. And I mean, listen, I was at the marathon that day, but I wasn't anywhere near the finish line by the time the bombs went off. But when you were here and you lived through the panic and the fear and the unknown and the lockdown, when the Tsarnaev brothers were on the run on that Friday following the marathon, seeing tankers and trucks, like those are just images that never leave you and always just leave you with just sort of it's difficult to relive over and over again. I'll probably watch it at some point. But I know it's difficult for people. But I also know that people take a lot of pride in the fact that the marathon didn't miss a beat, other than the year, of course, that everything shut down for everyone in the world in 2020 during COVID. They have found a way to run the marathon every single year since 2013.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I mean, 2014, they did it. It was a remarkable tribute to the spirit of the city.
Yeah, and that was like a beautiful, I remember that day. It was a little warm, actually, to run a marathon. I think it was like upper 60s, low 70s, but I ran that year. And I just remember going through every town. I'm getting chills remembering it right now. The Boston Strong signs everywhere, the American flags, people chanting USA. I mean, it's always an incredible race. There's always a ton of spectators. But that year in particular, they were 4 or 5 people deep in every single town along that route. It was spectacular. It was a spectacular day to say, we're back and we're not going to let what happened stop us.
Trenny Casey from Muskego. Now she's in Boston. It's always good to catch up with you, Tren. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you too, guys. If you need anything, let me know. Maybe a little Bucks Celtics
Eastern
Conference Finals preview.
I am pushing for that because there's another dinner in store for us. The last time it was fun. I had a small group. We went out to a little place in the North End. We loved it. I got a cannoli afterwards, too. It was delicious.
At Mike's Pastries?
I did.
I would love for the Milwaukee contingent to make your way back to Boston.
All right. If that happens, we're going to hook up with you, Tren, for sure.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks for joining us on a very busy day. It is 3:26 at WTMJ. Time for the Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks ended higher as a huge earnings week gets underway. The S&P 500 was up 13 points. The Dow was up 101. The NASDAQ was up 35 points. The Russell 2000 up 22 points. It's time to calibrate your plan. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio. Offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes, in person or online. It's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Stop into Ken Michaels Furniture for our sale on Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is an American icon in quality leather upholstery. Whether you're looking for power recliners or stationary seating, BY's Furniture is made with enduring quality, outstanding comfort, and timeless styling. Save 35% now on Bradington Young upholstery at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield and Greenfield. Visit us today.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Professionals at QC Kinetics use the latest, most advanced regenerative treatments to bring lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your own body's healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, shoulder, back. Precision treatments. They're all done in office, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics has hundreds of clinics all over America and thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond steroids and surgery. Discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine, especially this time of year. We all want to be living life to the fullest, doing the stuff that we love the most. And if you can get lasting relief and avoid going under the knife, well, it makes sense to check it out, right? Call QC Kinetics now. It's a free consultation, no obligations. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Hey, don't wait. 414-285-3474.
Traffic sponsored by the Wisconsin State Fair.
Score Wisconsin State Fair group sales deals. Only $12 per ticket for an order of 50 or more until April 30th. Check out the groups page at wistatefair.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure, Winter Wonderland in the West.
I'm Sandy Max, a secret foreign police station in New York City.
I'm Greg Matzik. Optimism with the Bucks.
I'm Debbie Lozica. We do have an accident on Capitol Drive eastbound right underneath I-41. Just watch out for that. The freeway system looks okay, a little bit tight heading down south of Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 is going to be a little slow from about 35th Street through the stadium. Southbound 43 tapping on the brakes a bit into the Capitol Drive area from just south of Hampton, and then a little slow through the Marquette interchange onto the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight, clearing skies, a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 52 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's heavy snowfall in western Wisconsin. Northfield reporting nearly 2 feet of snow. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson is tracking some of the other totals.
Melrose at 19.5 inches. We had Neilsville earlier at 19. La Crosse, the official total from the National Weather Service office, 13.1 inches of snowfall. So this spring snowstorm living up to that name, but in the western part of Wisconsin.
In southeast Wisconsin, there's been little to no accumulation.
Charges are not expected today in the case of a 17-year-old boy found armed with a rifle outside Waukesha North High School last Friday.
The boy was taken into custody after he was spotted near the school last Friday afternoon. The incident forcing some schools in that area to implement security protocols. Waukesha police tell TMJ4 News they are treating the suspect as an adult. A spokesperson says there is a mental health issue that must be addressed and more needs to be investigated before charges are ultimately filed. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
The FBI today revealing what it said is evidence of expanding espionage and security activity by the Chinese government on U.S. soil.
Federal prosecutors called it outrageous. U.S. Attorney Breon Peace said China secretly established its own police station in New York City and used it to spy on, co-opt, or intimidate Chinese dissidents living in the city and elsewhere.
The defendant's actions under the direction of the Chinese government are flagrant violations of American sovereignty.
The FBI searched the de facto police station last year. It's believed to be one of as many as 100 such outposts around the world. In a separate case, prosecutors said Chinese security officials spied on Zoom calls, identified targets, and then harassed Chinese dissidents. Aaron Katursky, ABC News.
WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team coverage. It's Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Andrew Beckett, a spokesperson for Wisconsin's emergency management, tells WTMJ that this week is the perfect time to review or create your emergency plan.
That includes knowing where your shelter locations are, where you might evacuate to if there were to be something that happened in your area.
And if you have young kids, Beckett says it's also the perfect time to create a communication plan.
We have copies of those on our website, and it's kind of a form you can fill out that has a list of everybody's important contact phone numbers on there.
Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
Encouraging news for the Bucks. Greg explains in sports up next.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:33.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I've got great dogs. I've got better dogs now. Thanks to Sit Means Sit Dog Training, my little corgis, Bella and Baxter, are just better behaved. They get it. They understand because Sit Means Sit dog training gave us the tools that we need to make them better dogs. You can start with Sit Means Sit with a free consultation. That's what we did. And then you, too, can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. They're just awesome out there. They'll work with you. They'll work with your dog. You'll have a much better dog. It's Sit Means Sit. Check out the website, sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The true variable speed capacity compressor on the Armstrong Air Pro Series is for the AC fanatic. Rather than running at 1 or even 2 speeds, this compressor changes its speed in small, precise increments and adjusts cooling up and down like a dimmer switch, so temperatures are held exactly where you want them, even in extremely hot weather. If you're an AC fanatic, this is the unit you want.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
On a hot summer day when I walk through that door, I want to feel that cold air, because we both know that is a great feeling. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. There's going to be a day when that AC of yours just isn't cranking like it used to, and that's when you want someone there fast, fixing it right the first time, because they've been doing it a long time. 20 service techs with over 20 years of experience. When you're in an AC emergency, see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
X-rays of Giannis's back contusion are clean. So is the MRI, according to Bucks head coach Mike Budenholzer. That's the good news. NBA insider Shams Charania reporting more potential good news for the Bucks and their star.
I'm told there is optimism about his availability for Game 2.
Well, that is good. It's also shared optimism. Mike Budenholzer saying just moments ago to members of the media he does have a level of optimism as well, but certainly no guarantee that he'll go Game 2 Wednesday night.
We just got to focus on, who's out there at the same time. They had a guy go down also, and they can continue to compete and, play well. So same mindset we try to have, it sucks that, our guys go down or can't return, but we still got a job to do out there.
Bucks forward Chris Middleton, he's talking about playing without Giannis and the injury to Heat guard Tyler Hero, who reportedly broke 2 fingers during last night's game. Game 3 will be Wednesday night, 8 o'clock tip from Fiserv Forum. Through 16 games, the Brewers have the third best team ERA in all the baseball and are tied for the league lead with 4 shutouts. Hat tip to Wade Miley, who has allowed just 3 earned runs over 18 innings of work.
4 pitches at 4 different speeds, and he throws them to different places in the strike zone, and it feels like you're never in a good count with Wade almost.
11-5, the Brewers' record entering tonight's game against the Mariners, who are 8-8. Coverage gets underway at 8:05. So I went back and looked at the box score here, John. Last time the Brewers played a game in Seattle, August 19th, 2016. Some names that you're likely familiar with in the lineup that day: Jonathan Villar, Keon Broxton, Ryan Braun. They hit 1, 2, and 3. Brent Suter actually started that game for the Brewers. I was looking at the lineup here. Somebody named Jake Elmore played left field.
The Blues brother?
I have no idea who Jake Elmore is. He played 59 games for the Brewers in 2016 as an outfielder.
I don't recognize that name.
I have no idea who. Does anybody?
And
in
you're
our
the sports guy, and you don't know who that is.
I don't know for the life of me. I don't remember him. It's a mental block. I remember Chris Carter. I remember Orlando Arcia. I do not remember Jake Elmore.
Text us your favorite Jake Elmore story.
Please do.
855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talking text line.
And or your most obscure Brewer, because he's going to the top of the list for me.
Something nice up next.
Here's a great way to brighten up your Monday and Tuesday. Enjoy a free dinner from the award-winning Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. With unique atmosphere, friendly staff, and free dinner, it's the best dining value in the state. Enjoy a fabulous steak, seafood, pasta, a fresh salad, anything on the menu. And your second dinner is free. Ice cream, drinks, and desserts, too. 100 wines and 25 bourbons will accent your dinner. The Fox & Hounds is tucked into the Kettle Moraine. It is magical. Perfect to celebrate a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or just a quiet, free dinner with your spouse. It's just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. With the trees budding and flowers blooming, the spring drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is just beautiful. It's a must-see. Step away from your kitchen. Enjoy a free dinner from the award-winning Fox & Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
The world can be a messy place.
Yep.
And we at Wisconsin's Afternoon News think it could do with a little more nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Say something nice to me.
This is Something Nice on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
We need something nice on a day where we woke up with snow.
You got that right.
On an April morning.
Yes.
You guys know any good dad jokes?
I got tons of dad jokes. Yes. What do you got?
You've been perfecting these over the years, haven't you? I've
You got
noticed
dad
that.
jokes?
Well, I don't tell the great dad jokes because I'm not a dad, but you know who does? Our favorite Giannis Antetokounmpo, like this one.
I got a joke. When the cows go out, where do they go? To the movies.
See?
That is a dad joke.
Ideal example of a dad joke. And here's the good news. Embarrassing dad jokes, you may be helping your child's development.
Oh, okay.
Because you're making it easy for them to understand that moments of awkwardness that usually accompany a dad joke, it's a good lesson because it's survivable. It's not that long. It's just a little awkward. You're resilient. It'll end.
At some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That it's just bear with it.
That's
just
very
bear
nice.
with it. That is also very good because it is father and child bonding.
Well, and in some
You're exchanging
respects,
that humor.
I really look forward to the point where my children actually get the dad joke. So in my kindergartner, Kendall, we were doing our little calendar. We got a little wall calendar, and it's a dry erase board, and we write numbers on it. And I told her, I said, "Sweetie, I'm a little worried about the calendar." She said, "Why? Why would you be worried about a calendar?" I said, "Well, its days are numbered." And I just sort of walked away, and she just stood there, had no idea.
What are you talking about,
Like,
Dad?
when she actually gets that joke, I will be very proud.
What did the horse say after it tripped?
Uh-oh.
Help, I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Oh, and Adam Roberts with the rim shots. I'm appreciating that. Now, here's what's even funnier that you bring that up, Greg, that you hope that your child will tell the joke, because the expert who did this study in England also said that through painful repetition, you get to experience the same old joke go through waves of being unfunny and then so unfunny that it does become funny
again.
Yes.
But one day you may overhear your children spontaneously telling that same joke, perhaps when they themselves have become parents, and that is concrete evidence that our input as parents does have an impact.
This is one my dad used to tell, and I still remember
see?
it. What do you call an angry carrot? A steamed veggie.
Why am I laughing?
How do you make an egg roll? You push it.
You push it.
Wait, I don't get that one.
How do you make an egg roll?
You push it.
It's
How
supposed
do
to be
I-
egg roll like a Chinese food.
Put it on a hill.
But how do you make an egg? Never mind.
Oh, you push it down the hill. Okay, I get that
Why
now.
can't you hear a
Sorry.
pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Because the P is silent.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my.
I remember going over the alphabet with Riley when she was probably 3 years old. We had a little thing, and we went, and she said there's 26 letters. And I said, you know what? I can only remember 25. I don't know why.
Oh, Mike, I'm scared that these are taking me like just a
Why
beat
did the
of a minute.
bicycle fall over?
Is it the speed? It was too tired.
I get it.
Oh, I
Two
get it.
times. There you go. But see, this is proving that the importance of authenticity in the presence of external social pressure, that's the awkwardness, and the value of using one's voice and emerging with confidence, even if the reaction is less than a round of applause. So
Yeah.
you're teaching your children confidence and eventually corny humor.
Sandy, God bless her, wants to tell us the science, and I just want to keep telling really
Oh,
bad
no,
dad
I'm all
jokes.
for it. But I love it when science works, when we're connecting.
I got a sports one, Greg.
Okay.
Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer? She kept running away from the ball.
Yeah, we got a greyhound a few months ago, and he will not go up the stairs. And the girls are like, should we allow Knight to go up the stairs? And I said, I don't really trust stairs. They're always up to something.
Nice. I did look this one up. I'm so good at sleeping that I can do it with my eyes closed.
See, there
Now
you
you're-
go.
now you're starting to get
Now
the
you're
feel.
playing.
Adam
No
held
rim
off
shot?
on the rim shot. That's okay.
Yeah, just don't rush it. Just
I'm
don't rush
learning
it.
that social awkwardness is okay.
Okay. It is good.
I'm the test model here.
How does the moon cut his hair?
the moon cut his hair?
Yeah, eclipse it.
Eclipse it.
I should not be laughing like
That's
that.
good.
So
That's
take
so
a
good.
dad joke, share them with your children. It's good to make them cringe. They will learn, and you're bonding. And we'll leave you with one more Giannis dad joke.
Why did the bicycle could not stand on his own? It was too tired.
Oh, that was yours. Was
Yeah,
that
no,
a
we-
nice
we
one?
all- joke.
Sandy, we all have the same book.
Yeah. We
There's
think we're
just
reading out
one
of over
book.
here.
That's all it is. Just one book. All dads get it at some point in their life.
When they send you home from the hospital,
Just one book.
you get the book. They
Right,
send the book home
You
with
cut
you.
the umbilical cord. They give you a dad joke
That's
book,
what
and
they
they
do.
say good luck.
Yep.
It seems to be working well. Well, we welcome your dad jokes. If you've got them, go ahead and call them in on the Old National Bank Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. We can share those throughout the show, I think, on this Monday.
We can. All right, up next, we don't get this very often. He's the best in the world at what he does for a living. He will join us live in the studio. Jason Belmonte. Oh, my gosh, this is exciting. Pro Bowler in town, going to be with us live in the studio right after Debbie helps get you home.
At the wall, it'll fly. Mike Brasso goes deep. This ball is up, and this ball is gone. Rowdy Tellez.
The Brewers are out in Seattle to take on the Mariners.
It is gone. Yelich's first blast of the season.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8:05.
I'll have what he's having.
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
It was like magic.
Hey, John Mercure here for Griffin Chevrolet in Milwaukee. They say car dealerships don't have the inventory. They do at Griffin. They've got over 28 new vehicles in stock ready to deliver right now. 50 pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and sedans available, ready to deliver to you. A great selection of new and pre-owned Chevrolet Camaros, Corvettes, just in time for spring and summer. And your vehicle's worth more right now. Let Griffin Chevrolet buy your vehicle outright. No need to buy anything from them. Ask about their hassle-free appraisal process for your car, truck, or SUV. You can have a check for your vehicle in under an hour. I just bought a vehicle at Griffin Chevrolet. It was a 2023 Blazer, black, all decked out. It is really a sweet ride. My wife loves it. They made it easy. They'll do the same for you. It's Griffin Chevrolet right there on the Metro Auto Mall. And they're always honored to help those in our community who serve. Show your badge or ID card to get a 15% off deal on your next repair job. Some restrictions apply. Good at all 5 Griffin Service Department locations. It is Griffin Chevrolet.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with Accunet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. Accunet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all 3 aspects of your financial health, and that will pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
The pontoon and deck boat event of the year, April 20th through 23rd at Centerpoint Pewaukee, and you won't believe the deals. Centerpoint Pewaukee, Highway 16 and Capitol Drive. Be there.
Traffic and weather sponsored by Centerpoint. Don't miss the pontoon and deck boat sales event of the year at Centerpoint Pewaukee. Good afternoon, Deb.
Good afternoon. We did have this accident on Capitol Drive, eastbound right underneath I-41. That has been cleared out of the way. So now we're just left really with actually on the freeway system. Got a little bit of an accident delay right now from Capitol Drive down to about Burleigh. We got westbound 94 hitting the brakes at 35th Street through the stadium. Eastbound's behaving well, knock on wood. We've also got southbound 43, just a couple of pockets of heavy traffic, one right past Fond du Lac Avenue, another one into the Marquette interchange and getting onto the high-rise bridge. Once you get over that, it looks fine all the way down to the airport. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clearing sky, a low of 31 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 52. On Wednesday, scattered showers, a high of 53. Thursday, we get back to the 60s. Chance for rain, a high of 63. And on Friday, mostly cloudy, a high of 55. degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 37 degrees.
He owns 31 PBA Tour titles with a record 15 majors. The 7-time and reigning PBA Player of the Year, representing Australia, the captain, Jason Belmonte.
Fresh off a big victory, Jason Belmonte is with us live in the studio. This is such a special treat for us, Jason. Thank you for making some time for us.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'm excited to be here.
Sandy's been so excited. She's been giving us all a tutorial the last couple of weeks on bowling and the nuance and what goes into it.
I was the expert in the room until now.
You totally were. So you take this. What do you want to ask Jason Belmonte? I want to follow your lead.
Oh, I think it's more of you. Well, I love that everybody here at WTMJ, all our teammates have been very excited that you're going to be here because I said he's the best bowler in the world, on the planet right now. There's no arguing that. Your titles, your statistics, there's no arguing that. And they did the research like, oh my God,
yeah,
you know him? You know him and he'll come visit? It's like, you've got the rare opportunity. He's in town for like 3 weeks for the World Series of Bowling. So, yeah.
So let me ask you about this. So when I was little, and I bowled in a league when I was in grade school and then in junior high, we all threw with one hand, and that was the coolest thing ever. And if I would have thrown the ball with two hands, they would have said, what are you doing? What are you throwing the ball with two hands for? And you have revolutionized this. How long have you thrown with two hands? Has it been forever, or was this an adjustment for you and something that you switched to?
No, this is forever. So the long story short is my parents built a bowling center when I was born. A couple of weeks after I was born, they opened the doors. And neither of them were bowlers. Never thrown a ball in their life until they opened up a place purely as a business idea. And so when I was 18 months old, I was strong enough to lift the ball off the ball return all by myself, and I wanted to do it all by myself. But I could only do it with two hands. Now, because my parents weren't coaches, they weren't bowlers, as I was getting older, 2, 3, 4 years old, they never tried to convert me. They were busy working. They turned on a lane, gave me a pair of shoes, and I was out of their hair while they worked. Meanwhile, I was just doing it the only way I could do it, which was to lift this heavy 10-pound bowling ball with two hands. And so as the years were going on, I just continued to do it that way. And then I think the big kind of tell for me that this was going to be the way that I was going to do it forever was I live in a really small country town. And so everybody used to bowl the ball very straight. And bowling was new. There was no old bowling center that closed down and we opened up a new one. No, it was the first time bowling came to my area. And so all of these straight balls going down the lane. And here I was as a 6, 7-year-old curving the whole lane. And that was so cool to me. No one else was doing it. I could do it more than everyone else. And I was happy. So mom and dad were like, well, yeah, kid's happy and he's doing what he wants to do. Let's just keep doing it. Now, I will preface this and say I don't think back then either my parents or even myself thought I was going to get really, really good at it. And so maybe if they saw or they had a history of competing themselves, there may have been some underlining moral obligation to help me and to coach me. But none of them were coaches, none of them were bowlers, and they just let me do what I wanted to do. And now I'm so stubborn, I'll never change, never did. And it seems to have worked out okay for me.
As you were growing up, bowling, though, was there ever anything else that piqued your interest as much as this? Is this your just straight-on passion?
Yeah, I'm a very athletic person. I love to play sports. And back in Australia, like our two biggest sports are rugby and cricket. And so I was really good at playing those and I made it to representative levels at those. But bowling is so much a part of my DNA. It was the only thing where if I didn't do it that week, nothing else made me cranky. But bowling, if I didn't do it, I just had this built-up frustration. And I think that was like probably the very first time I realized like just how much this means to me is I've got to do this. I can't not do this week. Take me to the bowl, someone, and let me knock over some pins. And as I was getting a little older, I had to make a decision whether I was going to choose another sport because I was way more sports orientated than I ever was academically. And so I had to decide where am I going to go? Well, bowling as a teenager, I was winning these tournaments worth thousands of dollars. So I had money in my pocket and cricket and rugby, until you become a professional at that level, you can't earn much money. So I was like, well, I think the love I have for this game, plus the fact I can buy whatever I want, I'm going to stick to this bowling thing. And so that's kind of the decision I had to make, and it seems to have worked out.
We are talking with world-famous professional bowler Jason Belmonte, a record 15 major championships, 7-time and reigning Player of the Year, many accomplishments. How does that make you feel when you hear me and other people say that about you?
Yeah, it is a little surreal. It is, especially when, like you said, there's an introduction, and they have to, like on the PBA Tour in particular, it makes me laugh a little bit, and the guys give me a little grief for it. When we do a walkout and the PBA is doing the announcement of me to the crowd, the list, it's very kind. It's long, and usually the players are like yelling at the guy on the mic. Can we hurry this up?
We get it.
Yeah. Stop.
And in that very moment, there's like this kind of slap of reality hits me across the face and go, oh my goodness, like never in a million years when I was a kid did I didn't even know there was a PBA Tour until my teens, but never did I ever think this is where I would be standing hearing those things. And it does. It hits me every time. Even when you said it just then, like a little weird feeling came over me listening to it.
I wish you guys would do the beer frame, right? You line up in one of these tournaments. It's the fifth frame. If not everybody gets a strike, whoever doesn't get the strike has to buy the beer for the audience. Can we get the beer frame?
We do have it. Actually, right now, Pabst Beer sponsor the PBA Tour, and there is a beer frame.
Yes.
Now, the players aren't responsible for buying everyone in the crowd
well,
beers
you should be.
if we don't. But there is a beer frame. They also sponsor, I think it's a 6 in a row 6-pack.
There you go.
Where if you get 6 in a row on television, they'll give you $1,000. So,
okay.
Courtesy of them, I've got that $1,000 a few times. So that's nice.
It's difficult to separate the beer and the bowling, especially when you're here. So I hope you've enjoyed being here in Wisconsin the past couple of weeks. You're here for another week. But now that you've shared that you truly grew up in a bowling alley, how was it last weekend bowling at Holler House on some of the oldest sanctioned lanes ever? That is handset pins, tiny venue.
But I think that makes it so much more special. Like if it were bigger, I don't know if it would be as cool, to be honest. Like you walk into the basement of this bar, and here are 2 lanes that have just existed there for decades. And, it sounds a little corny and a little weird, but there is this kind of, this feeling of like you can hear a whisper of what has gone on down here in the basement before. And when you get to step up on those lanes and throw a ball, the thing that I really enjoyed was, well, now I get to add a little bit to the story of what this place is. And maybe in another 100 years, there'll be people talking about when the PBA Tour pros came and had a bowl here at Holler House. But if you haven't been, it's remarkable. And you don't even have to like bowling. There's a bar upstairs that's bloody amazing. And the people, it's like a local bar in the end. And just everyone's just awesome. They have such a great time. The music was pumping. And then we got to bowl in it for a bit of fun. But in the end, it was quite serious because we were playing a USA versus the world match there. And so once you step on the lanes, it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. Now I want to destroy the person that I'm playing. And you have to like quickly switch out of that nostalgia feeling, looking at this place at how cool it is to, it's time to destroy the other guy.
Jason Belmonte is the best in the world. You can see him coming up. The World Series of Bowling going on.
World Series of Bowling is happening. Animal Patterns are happening tonight, Tuesday and Wednesday night, and then the PBA World Championship match play. When will we see you at Bolero Wauwatosa again?
Yeah, I'll be competing for the World Championship starting on Thursday. For me, if Thursday is a great day, then you'll see me bowling for the title. It needs to be a very good day, but if it is, I'll be bowling for the title, which I'm not entirely sure of that time. You'll have to help me out with that one, Sandy.
Over the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, over the weekend.
10 a.m. and 2:30 on Thursday.
There you go.
There you go.
So that's the plan. And if that doesn't go to plan, you'll probably see me there practicing because I didn't win.
Jason, so good to have you here. What a thrill. Thank you so much. Welcome to Milwaukee. It's good to have you here.
No worries. Anytime I'm in town, love to stop by.
Jason Belmonte, it is 3:58 at WTMJ.
Grandview buys homes. Hi, I'm Tom Delich, here to tell you Grandview will buy your home in any condition. Water damage, mold, Cracks in the foundation, not a problem. Electrical issues, bad roof, peeling paint. We've seen and bought them all. Or maybe your home just hasn't been updated in 20 or 30 years. Grandview will buy your home too. Don't do a single repair. And best, take only the belongings you want and leave the rest to us. Sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
In Wisconsin, making memories together is for everyone, whatever your ability. So here's to soaking up surf culture right here on Wisconsin's Fresh Coast. To making time for stargazing as a family. And to imaginations cleared for takeoff. Here's to